Hey there, everybody. So we open the season today up in Philadelphia. Game 1 of 162 here for the Atlanta Braves in 2024. Braves win by a score of 9-3 over the Philadelphia Phillies. Initial thoughts, I'm filming this a few hours after the game. Been driving around most of the afternoon, but saw 8 of the 9 innings. Didn't get to see bummer pitch, which is, well, I'm sure this will be used a lot, but a bummer. But I've heard everyone looked good, including him, despite the run he gave up. I'm going to start with Spencer Strider, which is where I think you have to start with this team. As much attention as Ronald Acuna and Matt Olson in this lineup gets, this Braves team is only going to go as far as the pitching staff will carry them. And Spencer Strider has to be a part of that this year. Not only in the regular season, but in the postseason. And Spencer Strider, third year of being in the big leagues. Like, it's time for him to step up as the true ace of this team, especially with Max Fried on his last year. And I think he did that today. Only 5 innings, but what's going to get missed in that is he was incredibly efficient through 4 innings. Before, it seemed like he just could not locate the fastball properly. Marsh took him deep on a fastball that was probably about 6 inches below where he wanted it. And besides that, incredible game from Spencer. Continued right where he left off in the spring. The broadcast was unsure about the slider versus the curveball, and StatCast isn't quite sure on it yet either. But it looked like he mostly utilized the curveball today rather than the slider. So I don't know if that threw off Phillies hitters more so. But Spencer has always been good against Philadelphia, despite his 3 playoff losses against them. So, still undefeated in the regular season. And that brings us, let's bring that into the Braves bullpen. So Braves, Spencer comes out this game after 5, down 2. And Wheeler is looking amazing. So you're kind of in a situation where you have to hold. And a lot of teams in the past for the Braves, including what we just saw in the postseason last year in Citizens Bank, could not do that. But this team seems to be different. Granted, it is game 1. I'm sure we're going to be complaining about the bullpen at some point this season, but I thought today was a perfect showing of what this Braves bullpen can be. And a lot of people didn't seem to be super high on this bullpen from a national media perspective, but I thought this was the best bullpen in baseball going in, because there's really no one that you don't feel comfortable going to in a high leverage situation. Like, if Tyler Matzik is your left-handed low leverage reliever, then I think you're doing pretty good, because that dude is really clutch, as seen. Just ask Mookie Betts. But we saw Joe Jimenez come in and lights out, 1, 2, 3. Pierce Johnson was immaculate. Same thing with AJ Minter. Like I said, I haven't broken down the bummer tape, and I didn't get to see it at the time, so I'll have to look at that. I don't know what he gave up a run on, but we'll take a look on that in a little while. But then that comes down to the Braves lineup, and a lot of the same themes that we saw previously between the Braves and the Phillies still stand. Zach Wheeler, when he's on, he's unhittable. It does not matter. You could throw out the 29 Yankees, and he's going to slice them up. And honestly, this is the equivalent of the 29 Yankees that he's going up against that we've seen in previous years. And the Braves have just never had an answer for him. Their answer is, we have to foul off some pitches, make him go deep in counts, and really hope he's out of there by the 6th inning. But really, that's the only way that the Braves have ever been able to get to Zach Wheeler. And it's a shame, but he's really good. And I hate to see him in Philadelphia, especially for that contract he's just signed. I really wish that he was a Brave, but, you know, you can't really take that away from him. And I don't think anyone really thought he would turn into one of, if not the best pitcher in baseball when he left the Mets in 2019. So, after Wheeler leaves the game, and credit to Ronald Acuna, Jared Kelenic, Orlando Arcia seemed to be seeing him pretty well. I think I'm remembering that correct. I'll read the box score here in a second, just to make sure. Matt Olson was seeing him pretty well, it seemed. The lineup was on him more than they have been in the past, but they just could not punch a runner through. And I was starting to see shades of the postseason series last year in the NLDS against these same Phillies. It had a very similar vibe until the Braves got into the bullpen and immediately did exactly what they did last year in the regular season, which was punish bullpens. The Phillies had no one out of the pen that could get the Braves out. It was incredible. No matter who they threw out there, if they threw a pitch in the strike zone, it was hit hard. If it was thrown outside of the strike zone, the Braves were not chasing. No matter who came out of the pen tonight for Philly, the Braves just could see them very well. And that was such a huge change of pace compared to what we saw out of Zach Wheeler today. So, of course, if we're going into player of the game, I think Matt Olson's going to get a lot of credit here. 3 doubles, 6 or 7 RBI. He was incredible today, and 3 doubles on his birthday, turning 30. But I'm going to give the player of the game to Michael Harris II. A 3-hit day, 4-hit day. I'll have to check the box score again. Like I said, it's been a few hours since I watched the game. But I was very impressed with him today. I think it was 3 hits. And then the 4th hit would have come on another infield hit that he beat out, but the Braves didn't want to challenge up 9-2. So he performed incredibly well. He had a good spring, and I think there was a big question mark with Michael Harris's batting ability coming into his 3rd season in the league, because the defense is going to be there. He's such a good athlete. He is the second coming of Andrew Jones in center field in Atlanta, and he's so good defensively, but you have a feeling that something was coming, like an offensive breakout. And especially after the last postseason series against the Phillies, and Michael struggled, which is not really a knock against him. Every Brave struggled, if you're not named Austin Riley. So, I was very impressed with it. Several infield hits for him, but he was just able to spray the ball all over the field. And if he's able to do that, the power will come. But there's no real need for him to hit a bunch of home runs in this lineup. So, I'm impressed with Michael Harris. Matt Olson, like I said, 3 doubles, several RBI today in big situations. Orlando Arcia had one knocked out if it weren't for the wind. And I think the pitcher knew that too, because you saw the broadcast cut to his mouth and everything. But Jared Kelenic, absolute. I thought he was really good in his Braves debut. He played really hard, beat out an infield single on one play, or beat out a double play ball. Sorry. Like I said, it's been a few hours. And then the other one, just a nice hit past Stott at second base. So we'll have to watch him. We might have to inform him a little bit about JT Realmuto and his pop time. But, I appreciate the effort. I loved that signing as soon as we got Kelenic. So I felt really good about that. And after his spring, I saw a lot of people were worrying a little bit about him. But Kelenic came through when he had to, and then Duvall came in for him, and then you see the double down the left field line. Duvall doing what he has always done for this team, in the clutch, and delivering when it matters the most. Something that I was bringing up with the people I was watching with today, that I don't think gets brought up enough. Ever since the Braves have been on this run, when they've had a healthy Adam Duvall, they've won the World Series. Like, they've always played much better with Adam Duvall than they have without Adam Duvall. And look at 2020, going into the series, into the ALCS, or NLCS, excuse me, in the COVID year against the Dodgers. Duvall got hurt in Game 1 of that series. And I firmly believe that if Duvall is playing, the Braves win that series. And then look at the first half of 2021 with no Duvall and how the Braves played versus once they traded for him. I can't explain it. He's a good player, but it's something about him specifically that makes this team tick. And then again, you look at 2022. The team was clicking, but when it came playoff time, they didn't have Duvall because Duvall hurt himself in mid-June. So I think that this team, they got several difference makers come postseason time, but I think one of them was an old friend in Adam Duvall. So we'll see. Between Kelenic and Duvall, I'm really interested to see how left field plays for the Braves this year. But I'm excited for tomorrow's game. It's a 4 o'clock Eastern first pitch between Aaron Nola is going to go for the Phillies and Max Fried for the Braves, both in their first game of the season. And I'm excited to see how the Braves respond to Nola. Nola handled them in the playoffs last year, so I'm just curious to see how they'll react. They've hit Nola pretty hard in the past, so Wheeler was always the guy to worry about. But it's a new season, and we'll see. It'll definitely be loud again at the bank tomorrow. So let's just hope the Braves can come away with another win. And anyways, this is Caden Sturgis signing off. I'll see you tomorrow.